Hello, friends. Good to see you. It's Thursday. That means it is time for the Tarot Topics weekly newsletter recap. Good to see you, Gemini Sun, Medium That Rocks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being members. We'll welcome people as they come. And yes, what is it with the Lionsgate thing? Like, that is such a new thing to me. Like, can you look back and think about, like, when did you first hear about it? Someone reached out to me today and said, hey, what should I do for the Lionsgate? And I'm like, Google? I don't freaking know. But yeah, that is what it is today. It's also Thursday when we talk about the newsletter. So this week's newsletter is about guilt. That was by request from y'all. And I have theories about guilt. I think guilt is completely and utterly useless. I don't think there's any purpose for it at all. I think it is something that is used to manipulate us. And I think as soon as we can release those feelings or rename them, there's regret, there's remorse. There is, lots of ways that we wish things could have been different. But guilt is such an interesting thing and something that we really are programmed for in a lot of ways. So, in the newsletter, that's what we talked about. That's what we're going to do readings about. Ben, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Barbie, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thank you both for being members. So let's hop on over to CardCam, where you can see that that's not CardCam. Hang on, wrong button, sorry. Right button. There you go. Hey, Ness, good to see you. What did you and your daughter think of the movie Tarot? I know you were watching it last night. For those of you who don't know, it's a horror movie. I'm not a fan of horror movies particularly, so I don't care one way or the other, but I'm always weird when we make tarot evil or bad or whatever. What did you think? Okay, good to see you, Pamela Lath. Glad you're here. So, we're talking about guilt. Let's get going. Oh, Kanchan, I was also thinking about that movie last week. So, I know Ness was watching it last night. It went very quickly to streaming. I have no interest in seeing it just because I don't watch horror because my vivid imagination will keep me awake for days. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, gosh, make me die right now. Death card in the Two of Cups read as love will be the death of me. No. Okay, so Ben, I feel guilt is good for accountability and self-reflection. I'm going to say no. I'm like, well, we'll have this conversation. Maybe that's the pub game. No, seriously, I know you're in charge of pub entertainment at StaarCon 5. But I'm going to say I don't think guilt is necessary. I think we have regret. I think we have remorse. I think we are able to do an accounting of ourselves. I don't think we need guilt in order to do that. I've never seen that work. Ah, Ness, the card deck they made for the movie is fun. Well, good. Okay, I wonder if that's going to be available to the general public. So I guess on some level it is nomenclature. That what we call guilt, that is helpful really is probably regret and remorse. So maybe it's a semantical argument. But I think there is a way that we can just let go of guilt. And yes, regret and remorse will allow us that opportunity for accountability. But let's take a look. Let's do the readings. That's what we said we would do. Let's do that. All right, hang on one second. Let me make sure I'm where I need to be. All right, and you can see I'm so lazy. I used this. I just put a card on the floor. I use this. This is Crystal Visions Tarot. I used it for Global Tarot Circle last night. And it's here on my desk. So guess what? I'm using it again today. Yeah. Yeah, Ben, I think we're on the same page here. Yeah, guilt, regret, and remorse all get confused and muddled. Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly what it is. Hey, Wendy, we're talking about guilt. Ask a question about guilt, remorse, regret, any of those things. Good to see you. Okay. Oh, Ness, my little one wanted to play with me and came in the room. We couldn't finish the movie. It's like an old school horror movie. Got it. That's what I thought. All right. So here we go. Let's get those cards warmed up and let's get going. Thank you all for being here. I do want to remind you we have our in-person tarot meetup coming up this Sunday at Panera in Palm City. Right, and Ben, you're in charge of that. You're in charge of pub games for StaarCon. Anytime you're at StaarCon, you're in charge of the pub games. You're just too good at it. Okay, so Ness, you're going to finish the movie tonight, so you'll give us the movie report tomorrow. Good. Acceptable. I appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. Gemini Sun, thanks for being a member for more than a year. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Can I have specific instructions and exercise or spell to stop feeling so guilty, feeling like I'm not doing enough or should have done something better? I'm going to give you a bunch. And first of all, I want y'all to listen how many people feel guilty like we're not doing enough or should have done something better. Not doing enough, should have done something better. Very often that is a root chakra issue. We feel like we're not enough. And what we need to do is work with the root chakra in meditation, connect to the earth, and really feel ourselves grounded to recognize that we are here for a purpose. We are enough. We are enough. It's about not feeling like we're enough. So this is a root chakra issue in a lot of ways. And I didn't talk about that in the newsletter, but I think it's a fair thing to say. So all of us need root chakra work, right? But beyond that, yeah, see that Knight of Pentacles, I really see Pentacles as related to the root chakra. So I feel like your guilt, okay, so root chakra is very much about, am I enough and will I have enough and do I deserve what I have and I want more, do I deserve it? It's about all of that. Yeah, we should do a chakra class. Yes, we should. That's a good idea, Ness. I'll do another one of those coming up. Yeah. So I really think it's chakra work. I really do. So root chakra work. First of all, when we teach a class, we say the root chakra is at the base of the spine. No, it's not. It's the taint. But we don't want to say that. Everybody breathe into your taint. No one wants to say that. But that's it. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's where it is. And we want to breathe into that area. We want to release energy from that area. And from that area, we send energy into the legs, the feet, down into the earth. And we connect to the earth using that energy like roots, like tendrils curling into the soil. And Wendy, sorry, what, the taint? Yes, that's where the root chakra is. It's not the base of the spine. It's the perineum. Seriously. So, and that's important to think about because it all has to do with birth, right? From a woman's perspective, the perineum is what tears or is cut during childbirth. That's your root chakra. The fontanelle, the crown chakra, is what is open for the child at birth. And it is these two things that connect us to earth and heaven. And that's an important thing for us to know, and it gets lost, right? All right, so connecting energy to earth. And as you breathe in, bringing that energy up from the earth and into the root chakra. And what you're focusing on is you are here. You have a right to be here. You are supported. You are connected. You will have the resources that you need, because that real feeling of guilt if I'm not doing enough, it's not really, I'm not going to get to where I want. It's my presence on this planet does not have enough value right now because I'm not giving it enough. So if we know that we have value, that whole energy changes. The other thing around resources, the root chakra it's all of our fears about resources. Now, the solar plexus, right above the rib cage, that's really our will, that's the breadbasket. That's where we really start making money. So you start with the root chakra to know that you deserve. And then we move the energy up to that fire. It's the one fire chakra at the solar plexus, and that's your will. So once the root is aligned, so can your will be. And there that is. So yeah, I would say that will start with that, Gemini Sun. Let us know how it goes. And anyone else, this is a good exercise for all of us. The other thing about root chakra work, wear red underwear. Always helpful. All right. Kenshin, I agree. Maybe that's the reason we feel anxiety. Right. We feel anxiety. We really, you tighten up right in the nether regions. That makes a lot of sense, right? Medium that rocks. Beautiful. Yes, thank you. All right, and medium that rocks, you are up next. Oh, what makes the red underwear more powerful? Because the root chakra is red. And I could tell you to tape a ruby to your taint, but that would be mighty uncomfortable. So red underwear is a stand-in for that, right? It just brings the color red to the root chakra in a very easy way. And I'm all for underwear and chakra colors. Really. Oh, and Gemini Sun just painted my nails red, and I don't love them. Is that because I'm not comfortable with my root chakra? Maybe, or maybe you just don't like red nails with your skin tone, or, it could be connected or not. But you might as well work with that red color, for sure. Okay. Medium that rocks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. And thanks for being a StaarCon 5 presenter. I've been dealing with feelings of guilt. The ex is telling me he's having panic attacks and is working with doctors. He knows more negotiations are coming to complete the divorce. Am I just being manipulated? I am trying not to feel guilty, but I'm having a rough time with it. So specific to the panic attacks. So are you saying that you're feeling guilty because he's having panic attacks? He should have been panicking for the past 20 years. You were the one who was holding him together. In a way, I think you could turn that around and say, well, if that's the case, you did that man a favor because he's a grown-ass man and he needs to be able to handle his shit. And if he couldn't learn to handle his shit while you were there, then he needs to learn how to handle it without you. So I don't care if he's having full-on panic attacks. I do not care. Why? I love you too. Why? Because if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. This is a dude who doesn't believe in real mental health issues having real mental health issues. If you don't see how funny this is, I suggest you step back and look at it again, because he is getting exactly what he deserves. Now, that is rich. Yes, that is rich. The whole reason we're in this mess is he did not give mental health the priority that it should have been given. And now he's using mental health as a reason to try to make you feel guilty. Okay, now let's see what's really going on. Okay, that was my rant, but let's see what's really going First of all, is he really having panic attacks? He's having anger attacks that he can't control you. And he certainly does have anxiety. A lot of it. He doesn't know how to look to the future. He doesn't know how to do his life without you. And he is so hurt and angry that you would abandon your post, not recognizing his role in any of it. He doesn't see his role in any of this. He's not coming to you and saying, man, I can really see, now that I'm experiencing some mental health issues, I can really see how serious it is. Wendy, this is Crystal Visions Tarot from US Games. He's not doing that at all. He's not even seeing the irony of what he's doing. So he is going to snatch at any possible thing to manipulate you, to make you feel guilty, and ideally, in his mind, to get you to come back. And make everybody's life good again, please. But honestly, he could have had that. At your own expense for all of your life. At your own expense for all of your adult life, you've been handling this man's shit in ways that didn't necessarily serve you as well as they could have, but you were willing to make that bargain until he crossed a line. And that's the story. And you have to remember the real story, because he tells a very different story. And what he's dealing with is anger. It is anger. And so I imagine this is going to get a lot worse before the two of you are actually divorced, because he hasn't come to acceptance yet. So I think you got to be prepared for this battle. But yes, it is all manipulation. And it doesn't matter. I mean, whether or not he is having panic attacks and working with doctors is immaterial. It's immaterial. It doesn't matter. The only thing that he could perhaps say to you to fix this would be to show real accountability and growth. And he's nowhere near that. So anytime you have an interaction with him like that, rather than letting it make you feel guilty, use it as the litmus of, yep, okay, still correct. I'm still correct in what I'm doing. There it is. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. Oh, this is fun, Gemini. Gemini Sun, I wrote a letter to myself from my future self a year from now to an exercise to manifest for the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. Medium that rocks, you are very welcome. So yeah, I am dying to know, like the Lionsgate thing. I know people are doing different exercises, different things. This is so new to me. Like I have no practice for this because it's so new to me. Does anyone know who originated it? When did it start? Anyone have any history on this? Right, what is the Lionsgate? 8/8, which is today, August 8th, is considered this like special day in Leo season. But I don't even understand completely what it's about. So I would love insight. Thank you. Thank you. Because people reached out to me this morning asking what they should do for 8/8. And I'm like, I don't know. Oh, Trey, it has something to do with the alignment of our star with Sirius. Good to know. Oh, and that's said to be the higher octave of our sun. Well, it's an ex-boyfriend's birthday for Nash. Okay, good. All right. They say you can manifest anything in this portal. So I have a bone to pick with anyone who says you can manifest anything at any time, place, or whatever, because you never can. If I could manifest anything, if you could manifest anything, our planet would be extremely different than how it is. So no, I will very firmly say there is no place, date, or time when you can manifest anything. Just saying. Oh, okay, Barbie, thank you. It's linked to the alignment of the Sun, Earth, and Sirius, considered a period of spiritual growth, deep healing, and enhanced manifestation. Today is the peak energy. The portal is June 26th to August 12th. I love that. Thank you, thank you. When did we first start celebrating it? Who was the first person to say, let's do this? Anyone know? What's the history on this? How have I missed this? Yeah, please. Thank you, Barbie Bird. You're my research team. Yeah, I love that. That's good magic, Gemini Sun, to write a letter about all the things in your life as if it is already yours and how you feel about it. I love it. I love it. So, Trey, someone told you it goes back to ancient Egypt. They worshipped Sirius. I want more than that. I want more than that. I want more. But, I mean, you guys are not my research assistants. You don't have to, but maybe I'll remember to research it this year. Okay. Hang on. Let's do some readings. Okay. And Ness says, Sirius is 19 and 20 degrees in Gemini. Why in August? Yeah, it's a question. Yeah. I love a good research project. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting. And being a Leo rising, I am interested. I'm very interested. And I know, like, people I respect, like Mercedes Vasquez. Caliente is doing something for the Lionsgate. I happen to know. So if she's doing something, I'm already interested, right? Because I'm always interested in what she does. So, Barbie Bird, I have something. The Gemini degree is Vedic astrology. Okay. Wendy, I'm a Leo sun, so it interests me. Barbie Bird, the origins are with the Egyptian New Year. Long before modern mystics named the Lionsgate portal what it is today, ancient Egyptians were celebrating their New Year right around the same time. So Sirius's rising, the first time it became visible in the morning sky before sunrise, was associated with the annual flooding of the Nile River, which was a critical event for the region's agriculture and marked the arrival of the Egyptian New Year. Very cool. So it's been celebrated for a long time, but it's only recently been called the Lionsgate. Got it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. If I had a whole other life to live, it would be as a metaphysical historian. Yeah, who named it the Lionsgate? I want to know. I want to know. All right. All right. Thank you. And who is up next? Okay. Barbie Bird, thank you for being a member for more than a year. I love the newsletter. I think I often or most of the time I'm feeling regretful, but my upbringing internalizes it as guilt and shame, right? Right, there it is. Pamela, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. This is Pamela Lath. What can I do to reframe guilt of my mom's death? All right, and I'm assuming, and I probably know this story and I'm not remembering it. So is it really guilt around your mom's death? Or is it guilt that comes from your mother perhaps being one who used guilt to manipulate throughout life? You know, like I am not feeling like you did anything bad or wrong I mean, you didn't cause her death. I don't think you're doing anything. Ah, Pamela, yes, she did. Yeah, see, this is what I thought. You didn't cause her death, so we don't have to worry about that. I think that the bottom line is the reason, whatever the story is you're telling yourself around what you could or should have done differently. You talked her into the surgery, which became the downfall of her health. All right, well, let's play with that specifically. If she had not had the surgery, she would have been okay for a few more months maybe than otherwise, than she was, but she would have been under doctor's care. And I mean, there was going to be a problem regardless. The surgery was the right thing at the right time. It didn't work. But if she didn't have the surgery, the reason she needed the surgery, like there were other issues here. There were going to be issues no matter what. And the surgery was the best option. Knowing what you knew, it was the best option. So you've got this story that you somehow caused her death. But I have a feeling that what you have is your mother's voice in your head making you the bad one over the course of your entire life, and you haven't figured out how to let that go yet. And so having this big bad voice about her death, and my guess is, even if she had died peacefully, you'd have the same guilt because you weren't there. If you were there, you would have had the same guilt because you didn't do X, Y, or Z. You didn't make this phone call or do that thing. There was no way you were going to escape this without guilt, because guilt is her legacy to you. So, I think you have to go through the intellectual process. Yeah, you need to rewrite that story in your head and go like that. The story about the surgery specifically, it was the best option at the time. It did not go well, but it would not have gone well if she hadn't done the surgery either. That's number one. And number two, she trained you to feel that guilt. But I am very sure that where she is now, she has been transformed. You know, like some people have this idea that like our ancestors and loved ones in spirit still have the same issues after they die that they did in life. I am very sure this is not true. I am very sure that your mother is now in a place where she is able to have the unconditional love for you that she always should have had, but didn't know how. And so let her love you, you know, from where she is. Let her love you, because that's what she really wants to do. So you have to let go of that guilt. That's the thing. There it is. Pamela, understood. Okay, good luck. Barbie Bird, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. You are very welcome, Pam. I had an experience a couple of years ago that I still feel regretful about, that brings feelings of shame. I guess I worried about what others think if they were to find out about said thing. Let's ask. Oh, you're comfy at your job, so you feel free to be here live now. That's so good, Barbie. You're what, like week 3, week 4? That's so good. Okay, so this particular experience that you feel regretful about and that brings feelings of shame. Hey, Camille, good to see you. Thanks for being here. If others were to find out about this said thing, excuse me, like, I have a feeling. Oh, you were third week unofficially introduced to the, third week officially introduced to the company today. Very good, very good. So the thing is, I think the shame you have wrapped up around this particular thing, if people knew, it probably wouldn't affect anyone. And again, I think this is related to upbringing, that somewhere in your upbringing, you were taught that if you weren't a certain way, you weren't acceptable. If you weren't a certain way, you would not be liked. And that's just not true. So again, I think there's a false narrative here. And the thing that you feel regretful about, okay, fine. But I think you have to give yourself grace. Number one, even if the whole world knew, it's not really a big deal. Number two, it was something that didn't resonate for you and did not feel like it should be what you do or your behavior in the future. You made a mistake, right? You made a mistake. If you can show me the human that hasn't made a mistake, oh, Camille, yeah, you may not be able to, but thank you. I think you have to be allowed to make mistakes, and that just makes me think that in childhood you were shamed for making mistakes. And so I think you got to tell your inner child that it's okay to make mistakes. Oh, was alcohol or something like that involved? It's something you did under the influence? Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and can I tell you something? Okay, I'm gonna be very transparent in this moment. Wendy, especially under the influence, we all make mistakes in that position, right? And if it doesn't involve a jail, a hospital, or bringing a new life onto the planet, you probably did okay, right? Right? No one died? No one was born, no one died? We're probably okay. So, yeah, you need to just release it. Here's the thing. I have a past. Some of you probably know this. But the journey it took to get me here was a very, very journey that certainly involved some bad decisions under the influence, check. And many, many, many other fine things that for the longest time I was sort of, I don't want to say shamed about, but I didn't want people to know. I really constructed a narrative that did not include these things. Now, as I approach my 62nd birthday, I'm like, I am so glad I have great stories. I could entertain my grandchildren around the fire until they're grown up with stories from my misspent youth. And so all of a sudden, my narrative has changed completely, and I am much more an open book, and I will tell you the stories now. And I'm proud of them in a weird way because I've lived an interesting life. So Barbie, if you can, recognize that your personal narrative can have room for some funny things, and that when we get older, having great stories, if I had lived the life that my parents probably, no, that's not true. My parents wanted me to have adventures. If I had lived the life that some parents want their kids to have, I would have no stories. As it is, I have great stories. So, try to turn it into a good story, Barbie Bird. There you go. Justine, good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay. Okay. The next question I see is Trey Cameron. Trey, thanks for being a member for more than a year. It's great to see you. What guilt do I need to let go of? I think there's a part of you that feels guilty at not having already become a phenomenon of some sort. Because on one hand, you're super talented and you have the talent to do really significant things. And I think there's a part of you that feels guilty that you haven't done that yet. And that's okay. Just a thought. I think in general, you can have a lot of self-criticism in general, and that just goes along with that. So, there it is. Ha ha, Ness! I've always been terrified of making mistakes when drunk. In result, all my mistakes were done with a clear mind. Yes. Right, Trey. Yes, it sounds a little narky, but I feel you. Yeah, yeah. It's not that I think that you have delusions of grandeur, but I know that you're smarter than the average bear. I know you know that, and I know that you have talent above and beyond what some people do. So, so yeah, no, it's not. It's that we get to a place in life and we're like, okay, am I going to use this, and in what way am I going to use this? So yeah, I think it's like that. All right. Wendy, you're on a Greyhound on your way back home. That's cool. And Barbie, after that summer, you stopped drinking so much, right? Mm, 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 mm. I remember the very moment in my 30s where I recognized that lying on the bathroom floor while things are spinning was not a good look, and I wasn't going to do it anymore. I didn't have like a real serious story to tell. The story was tequila, and anything that left me like lying on a bathroom floor probably wasn't a good idea. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the hangovers aren't it, seriously. And Cuervo, right? Yeah, tequila and I have a history, and no, no, no. No, 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 no. Barbie, I have a 2-drink max now. Yeah, yeah. When we go to like bring your own parties, I let IT John bartend for me, and he makes me drinks that are like he just whispers alcohol over the top of my soda, and yeah, we're good. All right, here we go. Right, tequila makes you do wild things. There you go. All right. Ben, Libra Does Tarot, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for being a StaarCon presenter. Yay. How can I release current feelings of guilt? And the answer is tell yourself the truth about it. And the truth about it is you, like most of us, always do the very best you can in every moment. And we could look back and say, oh man, I could have tried a little bit harder. But really, I think most of us are trying as hard as we can each and every moment, doing the best we can, and that's the best we can do. And if we push ourselves beyond that point, the results are not good. So I think it's telling the right story. Kanchan, you're up next. Right, no one was hurt. Right, no one died, no one was hurt. We got nothing to feel guilty about, right? Oh, and regarding those who have passed on, Wendy says, I think once they pass over, all that human emotions become spiritual and you don't hold on to those things. I agree. Kanchan, I'm glad you're here. I just overscrolled and now I can't find your question. I'm looking for it. Where are you? Here you are. I found you. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Hang on. I'm looking for you. Give me a minute. I just way overscrolled. Ah, gotcha. Here we go. Kanchan, I also feel like asking what guilt I carry with myself that now needs to go. All of it. All of it. I'll do that reading in a minute, though. Medium That Rocks says, me too. There's growth on the other side. Right. There's growth, there's healing, and people aren't bad people. They're just unhealed people, right? Okay, so, Kanchan, what guilt do you carry with yourself that now needs to go? I feel like there can be some guilt around family where you feel like your family might want you to act a different way than you act. But that's really their problem, not yours. Like, I think you have to, like, any guilt that comes from not fulfilling family expectation, I think is what you need to let go of. I think that's the one. Let me know what you think. Okay. Okay. Wendy Robinson, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. I had my cousin move to live with me. Yes, I do remember. She left almost right away because of her alcoholism. The drama keeps continuing and I feel regret for even letting her into my life. Will this get better? Oh my gosh, I felt it today in a way. Got it, Kanchan. I understand, yes. So, Wendy, will this get better? So you're asking, so she is continuing to give you a hard time? Is that it? Or is there drama around the family with her? Like you tried to do a nice thing and she screwed it up because of her addiction. Okay, got it. Maybe you were naive around the way her addiction has manifested. Maybe you didn't see the whole picture, but I think you felt in your own heart that to be a good person, to be the person you are, you had to do the right thing, and the right thing was to try to help her. And we knew it was going to be hard. And she's dragging your family in. And the thing is, when we look at the family members that she is dragging in, they just seem to be enjoying the popcorn and contributing. Excuse me for saying it, because that's the kind of people they are. And so I feel like you don't have to talk to any of them about it. All you have to do is say, look, if she goes to AA, I'll be happy to help her. Or I'll be happy to visit her when she's in rehab. That's all you have to do. You don't have to say anything more to anybody about this. I think the reason that you didn't see what was going on there is because there's a huge amount of denial. And I think you can call every single person there out on their denial. When they give you a hard time, you can say, if she can get a handle on her alcoholism, I'll be happy to revisit it. There it is. I'll do whatever I can do to help her quit drinking. There it is. Yeah. And that's what you've been doing. And you don't owe anyone anything more than that. And you don't owe anyone anything. You can just refuse to speak with them if you like. So, will this stop? I don't think so, because they love drama. These people love freaking drama. So, I don't think it's going to stop. I think you just have to manage it. And now that you see what you see, don't unsee it. Because this helps you on your healing journey. Because this is the shit y'all are healing from. Seriously. The same thing that created this situation is the same thing that you're healing from, really. So, there it is. And never feel guilty for trying to help someone. Boundaries have been. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. Ness. Madiha Ness, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Are you next? I think you're next. Okay. What should I know about feeling unnecessarily guilty and how can I grow out of it? You are saying resources right now. That's my main anxiety source. Yeah, got it. Okay. What should you know about this, Ness? You hold yourself to a very high standard, and there is nothing wrong with that high standard. But you have a hell of a time giving yourself a win. You will always find a way that you could have done something better or differently or quicker. Maybe learn to allow yourself a win. That's what I would say. Okay, baby angel. My ex also says he has anxiety attacks and can't sleep. Blah, blah, blah. I agree, yeah. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Glad you like the newsletter. Okay. Melissa. I feel guilty about almost everything. Then I blame myself for everything that goes wrong because, that's the truth. And I want everyone here to hear it. If something goes wrong, it's Melissa's fault. Let's just all put the blame where the blame is due on Melissa. Right. Of course not. Of course it's not your fault. Okay. This has handicapped me, especially in the realm of work. I hear that. I totally hear it. Yes, it's the Italian Catholic thing. If anyone didn't know that you were raised Italian Catholic, they do now, for sure. But you make good food, so there's a trade-off. Okay. And the thing is, if you've met Melissa, and some of you have, because Melissa comes to StaarCon, Melissa is like one of the most together people in the world, in my opinion, right? So this is, just the thing, like the people that you look at and you sort of say, wow, that person is really together. On the inside, they're not feeling together. I don't think anyone feels together on the inside most of the time, right? Okay, so so you just need to release guilt completely. I think you need a full-on ritual. I know you're doing a Lionsgate thing, and that's really good. Right, Camille, you know Melissa. Melissa is so together. Like an iceberg, not so bad above the surface, below the surface, another story. Right, and we're all like that. We are all like that. So, Melissa, this is heavy and it's big, and you are right to identify it as a source of real issues. You are absolutely right. I think this needs to be like a month-long commitment. Where you're doing washing the guilt. Right, Justine, one of the sweetest people ever. You are not kidding. You got to wash the guilt away. You've got to, sweet is a good word. Have sweet-smelling flowers around you. Use stones that are good for self-love, like rose quartz and sodalite. And just every single thing to wash this energy off you and to surround yourself with sweetness so you can recognize your own sweetness. Or go to the beach, man, and pick up stones and put all of those feelings into the stones and throw them into the water. All of it. You need to do all of these things. Camille, she is so kind, sincere, and down to earth. Right, really, literally one of my favorite people on the planet. So yeah, Melissa, this is the opening. This is the time to really release this, and it will make huge changes. Oh, Camille did a great talk on this at StaarCon 23. Yeah. All right. Baby Cakes, good to see you. We've got roller coasters and Ferris wheels. How do I get rid of toxic shame and guilt? How do I get rid of it, get it out of my life, and how do I protect myself from it? You have to stay in your logical mind. Because when we bring it to logic, I'm teasing Melissa, yeah, everything really is your fault. Logically, we know, right? When we bring this to our mind, logically, we know it's silly and we can dismiss it. So often, and this was that thing in Harry Potter that I really liked too, that you can dismiss something scary by recognizing how ridiculous it is. And I think for you, Baby Cakes, that's what's going to work, is just bring it to your logical mind and laugh at it. And it will go away. That's what I think. Okay, scrolling through. Wendy, your birthday's coming up. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Camille walks with spirits and will be presenting at StaarCon 5. So excited. And those of you who don't have your tickets, the early bird special ends at the end of this month. Okay. I have a question, please, about something that's really troubling me this morning. Was I too heavy-handed in my assessment of a particular individual yesterday, or was I accurate? Completely and totally accurate. Accurate. Yeah, I agree with that one too, Melissa. Camille rocks. Incredible goddess. Yeah. We have such a great group of people. I swear to goodness. Yeah, Camille, I think you're on it. I think you got it completely. For sure. Okay. Dear God, thank you. Yes. Wendy, yes. Yeah, definitely do that. The guilt this morning, right? Oh, like there is that feeling like when you make a mistake and you just get that like hot feeling, at least for me, it gets really hot. Like, ooh, hot and shaky, like, oh, I screwed this up. And it can be, okay, I got to fix this mistake. But then the self-recrimination, that's the problem. Okay. Who is next? Hey, Vaishali, good to see you. So, Vaishali, you don't know what to ask specifically. So we're going to say just what you need to know about your relationship with guilt. You carry a lot of guilt that you really do need to let go of. It causes you anxiety. You feel personally responsible for things that are not your responsibility. Just saying. And that makes it harder for you to do the things that actually are your responsibility. Okay, Justine, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Thanks for being a moderator. I wonder, how does the guilt and shame that I harbor deep inside hold me back? What's the biggest way it prevents me from moving forward, and how can I combat this? I know it may never completely go, but it could. It may not completely go away, but how can I work with it instead of against it? So, I think for you, there's something inherent, like it goes right back to self-esteem, where you might feel in certain moments that there is something like inherently wrong with you. And so you're just flawed from the beginning. I think, it's interesting because you had shared with us that you weren't raised in a religious household, but it does feel like you were raised with the concept of original sin. Not necessarily for real, but just this idea that no matter what you do, it's not good enough. And I think that's the thing that really needs to go away. That's the thing. Camille, I've been beating myself up. Yes, hot and shaky. Was I wrong in how assertively I gave my assessment of what I so strongly felt and saw? No, you did it. You did the right thing. Milky Haji, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, who is up next? It is Jackie Masters. Okay, and Nora, today we're talking about guilt. So if you want to put in a question having to do with the topic, I will be happy to answer it. Yeah, Lila C. West, good to see you. Toxic shame is so prevalent. I know, my goodness. Jackie Masters, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. What guilt am I carrying, and how do I release it and replace it with something more positive? So that sounds like a 3-card spread right there. Like really traditional stuff is the guilt that you're carrying. Maybe, like you're just inherently not good enough. Like, I don't think it's anything specific. It's just the same we all have. We're just inherently not good enough, right? How do you release it? You release it by recognizing that that is not a useful energy. That is a hurtful energy, and it's not a true thing. And replace it with loving yourself. Replace it with loving yourself. I swear to goodness, I do think all of this comes from religion at the end of the day. Even if we're not raised with those kinds of religions, it's in the overarching culture. I really do believe it. So, yeah, there it is. There it is, Jackie. So, Nor, Penny, for your thoughts. Good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. Today we're talking about guilt. So, whatever questions you have about guilt, that's what we're doing. Baby Angel, how do I avoid or minimize being guilt-tripped by the people that I care the most about? Well, if the people that you care the most about are intentionally guilt-tripping you, you got to look at that and say, what's up with this? Maybe you need to change the way you deal with those people if they treat you that way, or maybe you need to have a conversation with them about that to try to create a different energy. Yeah. The fact that these are the people you care about the most and this is how they're treating you needs to be addressed. That's the bottom line. Okay. So, Lila C. West. Harmony and advice needed with my daughter-in-law, who I see for 10 days, one time a year. They have a 2-year-old. They live in a remote area of Canada, very private. She does not accept any gifts but money, and wasn't allowed to be with the 3-year-old until recently. So yeah, that can all be tied up in weird family issues around guilt and stuff like that. The advice is there's nothing you can do. You have to accept it completely. There's nothing you can do. She's the mother. She's going to do it the way she wants. Don't attach yourself to it. I know you would like a different relationship here, but you don't have that choice. So I would say don't even really try. When she comes, be cordial, but you have to do it her way, even though you don't like her way, and that you can't feel bad about that because it's not your choice. There's nothing else you can do. Okay, and Milky Haji, we're doing questions today about guilt. If you have a question there, it is last call for readings, y'all. From my perspective, I have answered, Heather Roberts. I missed you. Somehow I missed you. Yeah, I know how I missed you too. I'm so sorry. Heather Roberts, thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Got in late last night from vacation. I hope you had a great time. A real learning experience that needs reflection. I no longer feel shame concerning my slow verbal comebacks and realize my energy should be redirected. I'm curious what the cards have to say about this shame healing experience. It is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of a wonderful healing journey for you. This is just the beginning. Well, actually, it came from the beginning. But we're still really in early days of what this is going to look like for you. Because you are unpacking a lifetime of toxic crap. And this is going to give you access to so much in your life. It's a beautiful thing, Heather. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely. Okay. Jackie Masters, you are very welcome. So, it is last call for readings, y'all. If I accidentally skipped you, I'm so sorry. It's never my intention. I will be back tomorrow with the Friday weekly wrap up, and I'm just getting the links up for Saturday and Sunday. Camille, I love and appreciate how excited you get for us. Man, that is my whole thing. I realize this. A lot of the reason I have such joy in the work that I do is I have immense curiosity, immense compassion, and immense delight when it comes to other people. So it's an easy job for me. Right? Right. All right, my friends, there's a link. There are many links. Many links in the description. Read the newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter. Book a reading with me. Get your StaarCon ticket. Thank you so much. I'll be back here tomorrow at noon. We'll see you then. Take really good care. Yeah, Wendy. It was it's a good personality fit for sure. Thank you so much. Take care.